if you have a look at this function, y equals x squared minus 1, and we can make a table of values. Or you could graph it on your calculator. But let's just look at the table of values. Oh, that's not what I want, is it? I was doing y equals x squared. But then we need to subtract 1. So is this your table of values? 8, and then 3, 0, negative 1, 0, 3, 8. So then for the second one, it's the square root of that. So we did y equals the square root of x squared minus 1. So if we do the square root, what did your x values look like? 2.8, which is actually the square root of 8, right? 2.8. And then 1.7, which is the square root of 3. 0. Undefined, I think, wasn't it? And then 0, 1.7, and 2.8. When you graph that, it looks like that. This is what your graph should have looked like. So we have right here, there's a point 1, 0, 2, 1.7, 3, 2.8. It's undefined between negative 1 and 1 because that's where the original function is negative, right? The y values are negative. And to do the square root of a function, you're taking the square root of the y values. If you take the square root of a negative number, it's undefined. So anywhere where your original function is negative, the square root is going to be undefined. We end up with this graph. Second one was just a straight line, y equals 2x minus 1. But just looking at this graph, we can tell that the function is going to be, the square root of that function is going to be undefined when x is less than 1/2, because it's all of these points in the negative section, so where the y value is negative. So if we look at that square root, it looks like this. Everything past that 1/2, it's undefined. So you don't see a purple line at all to the left of 1/2 because the green line, the original, is negative. So if we look at this, the graph of y equals the square root of f of x is found by taking the square root of y, right? So then the mapping rule, xy is going to map to, x values stay the same, and then it's the square root of the y values. So x square root y. Where will the invariant points be? 0 and 1. So invariant points occur when y is equal to 1 or 0. And what's the reason for that? The square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 0 is 0. So that means the points aren't going to change, they'll be invariant.